What's up guys, Boss Han here. I am back with another video. Today, I wasn't really gonna post a story time, but I thought it just sounded funny. And plus, otherwise, it just came out of nowhere from my brain. My brain was like, hey, do you remember this? And I was like, no, but hey, this is really good content. I can really use this. But there was this one time where I went to a Chuck E. Cheese place, and this kid kept stealing my tokens. I was able to get them banned from the place because they were just literally acting crazy afterwards after I told them no. And yeah, I think this would be a funny story to tell on the channel and for you guys to have some laughs. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, go. Let's get it with it. So once a year when I was a young whippersnapper, I would go to this special ed camp. And this camp was no ordinary summer camp. This camp was a camp that I would have, and I think it would bring a lot of nostalgia if I would ever go back there again. Unfortunately, I can't go back there again because, well, I mean I can, but it's just pretty too much expensive, and I kind of miss the people there. I had a lot of fun there, but you know, sometimes you can't experience the things you always want to experience. I don't know. It's just that. Oh, I just can't go back there. That's what I'm trying to say. But in our week for the summer vacation, we would go to a Chuck E. Cheese on Thursdays, which I thought was pretty cool because it's like not every day you would go to Chuck E. Cheese, but yet again, this is a summer camp, so what would you expect? You're going to go some places. I mean, if it was a special ed camp, and absolutely, you would probably go to a Chuck E. Cheese on some day. And an important note that you guys should remember is that these types of camps, you get a counselor with you. Like, everyone gets a counselor, but most of the time, everyone would get a girl, which, I mean, I don't have a problem with a girl. It's just that I have autism, so I'm not really comfortable with being around a girl. I mean, yes. I mean, I'm pretty sure a boy would be like, "Oh, bro, you should go shoot your shot." Like, she's like, I don't know, like a high school, like college student or whatever. I'm like, what? I'm 12. Like, how am I supposed to date like a very aged woman? However, this time I had a boy counselor, which was good news because then I didn't have to suffer social anxiety, and plus I can get around easier, much easier. Anywho, though, we get off the bus at like 2 hours later, and we're at this Chuck E. Cheese place, and me and my counselor were psyched. We're like ready to go get a lot of tickets to try to get like the biggest prize we can get, and sadly, I've never ever gotten to get like those big prizes at Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm pretty sure that would take some time and effort just to get those. So me and my counselor, we get our tokens and we start playing some video games, and everything is going smoothly. Oh my god, everything is going smoothly. Me and everyone else are playing some video games, and the rest of the staff are setting up, like, ordering pizza, getting the balloons or whatever for the rest of the 2 hours on this day. And so I'm just having a great time. Everything is going fine until I get like a tap on my shoulder like 5 minutes ago. And I look at this kid and he says, "Hey, could I borrow some tokens?" And me, being the nice kid that I am, said, "Oh sure, here, take a few," and I give him some. And so I thought that, hey, maybe this would be it. Maybe he's just gonna try some out. Like, maybe there's nothing wrong with it. So that's when I was wrong. Cause like 5 minutes later again, like I feel another tap on my shoulder, and it's the same kid saying, "Hey, can I have some more tokens?" And I tell him nicely, "I'm sorry, no, you can't have some. You can't have any more tokens." And he, of course, the little guy's like, but you have so many. And I'm like, all right, fine. These are the last tokens you get. If you ask one more time, I'm not giving you to them. And the kid says, okay. And then he goes back. And I swear to God, like 5 minutes later, actually, no, 2 minutes later, the same kid comes back and he asks me for more tokens. And I try to tell him nicely, "Hey kid, I already gave you many chances of tokens, but listen here, I'm not giving you more. You can go cry about it all you want, but I'm not giving you more." And the kid starts crying, like saying, "You're so mean, you have so many." Listen, alright, yes, was I maybe a little bit rude? Maybe. But dude, I gave you so many chances of giving you tokens, and you're telling me to give you more. No, these are mine. I don't look. I don't have to give you tokens because I already pay them myself. So technically, I didn't have to give you tokens in the first place. But now I'm just sitting here, look at this kid crying on the ground, saying how I'm so unfair that I didn't give him tokens. It's not my fault. It's your fault. You're blaming yourself. Anywho, though, I hear my camp counselor come over to my direction and says, "Hey, what's going on?" And I tell him, "Oh, this kid was stealing my tokens." And the counselor says, "Well, what do you mean he was stealing your tokens?" And I tell him, "Oh, I gave him tokens multiple times because he asked nicely, but I tell him that I'm not giving him any more tokens because plus they're mine because I bought them myself, and second of all, I didn't have to give him to the start." And that I kind of feel like he's being a little bit greedy or whatever. And so right before my camp counselor, we're gonna call him for the rest of the story, Mark, was about to tell the little kid something. The little kid just like jumps up and he just runs away for some reason. I don't know if just maybe he had a plan or something, or maybe he was thinking about something in his head while he was crying on the ground. Maybe he was faking it for like a plan or whatever. I don't know what he was doing, but like he just for some reason just decides to run. And I'm like, whatever, I'm just gonna go back to playing video games. And my camp counselor, for the rest of the day, stayed with me because he just kind of felt like something was wrong. I mean, at first I didn't realize that something was wrong because look, I'm 12 years old. I'm just here playing Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm not old enough to understand this type of current events of what's going to happen next. So for the rest of the day, everything is going smoothly. At one point, it was time to eat some pizza, and I took my tokens with me. I just only had a few left. However, I went to one of the staff to tell him if I could have some more tokens, and they gave me a huge bag full and put it in my cup and saying, like, "Here you go, little sweetheart," because, you know, I'm just the sweetest little kid. And then I went to sit down and eat pizza. And my camp counselor then sits next to me, kind of a little bit paranoid. And I tell him, "Hey, there's something wrong." And he says, "Oh, it's nothing. I just kind of feel like someone's watching us." And then that's when I hear like some footsteps appearing between us. And that's when I hear the sound of a Karen. Now, listen here. I never knew what a Karen was back then, but I can tell now that this person is probably not someone that's the nicest, because me and Mark turn around, and it's this old lady with the same kid that was asking me for Chuck E. Cheese tokens. And Mark says first, "Hey, can we help you?" And the Karen lady, we're gonna call her Karen because I don't even know her name, but she's acting like a Karen. "Are you the father of that kid?" And Mark tells her, "No, I'm just his camp counselor." And then the Karen says, "Well, whatever. He needs to give my son the tokens now." And then my friend, well, no, I guess we can call each other friends because we have our we added each other's friend selves on Xbox. But Mark tells her, "Well, no. First of all, Boss Hand over here didn't have to give you tokens because he paid him for himself, and two, he was generally being nice to giving your son more tokens. However, he decided to act like a little brat and started to get ask for more. And at one point, he started crying on the ground because he wanted more tokens." And the Karen says, "Well, I don't see a problem here." And me and Mark go, "Well, what do you mean?" Like in our thoughts, we're like, "Well, how is there not a problem? Like, the kid's just acting spoiled, like asking for tokens. I mean, he can ask you for money to get some tokens, but like I just don't understand what's the problem here." And the Karen says, "My son deserves everything in this world. He deserves to get all the tokens of this Chuck E. Cheese he wants." And then Mark goes, "Well, then how about you just how about you just buy tokens for him?" And the Karen says, "Well, I'm not going to do that because that's a waste of time." And Mark says, "Well, that doesn't make any sense. How are you supposed to get tokens for him? If you're saying that he deserves everything, then why shouldn't you just buy tokens?" And the next 10 minutes are basically just screaming from Mark and the Karen, just like fighting each other. And surprisingly, none of the other staff members were seeing this, except for a few staff members were seeing what was happening, and they went to split us up. But as they were splitting the Karen and my friend Mark, oh my god, my camp counselor, but whatever friend, whatever, I see the kid trying to steal my tokens. And he has a little smirk of like, oh, haha, I got your tokens. Like, no, I'm not letting you take my tokens. And first of all, I know what you're doing because I see you grabbing. And quickly, I just grabbed the tokens. I said, no, you're not getting them. And I don't know what was possible of this kid's potential, but as soon as I said no, it's like this kid's sanity just like disappeared and went out the window. Because then he starts screaming, "Give me the tokens now!" It's like how loud is screaming, it's like as loud as a jet engine. Like then everyone starts paying attention to the kid, and like we're just trying to calm him down, but the kid is so loud that we can't even calm him down. And then like one of the staff members of the Chuck E. Cheese sees what's going on, and then the staff tells the Karen, can you please calm your son down, then, or else we're gonna have to escort you out of here, and then we're just gonna have to ban you if you don't quiet your kid. And the Karen says, "No, let him speak. He needs to speak for the world." And the staff member says, "No, we're gonna have to ban you if you just don't quiet your kid down." But Karen still doesn't listen to the staff member, and while the staff member is trying to make this easy here, so the staff member doesn't ban the Karen. But in my mind, just like, can this kid just please stop screaming? I know you're upset that you want tokens, but you could have just asked your mom. And I don't understand why you guys don't want to spend money. I mean, like now I understand why you guys don't want to spend money because you want to get stuff for free, but that's just not reality over here. Okay, this is reality. You have to pay for everything. I mean, except for carnivals, if it's free or not. And the staff member looks at Karen and says, "I'm sorry, I have no choice. I've given you multiple options, and you leave me with no choice." She calls security, the staff member, and like at least like 2 minutes later, like the security guards like came busting through the door. Well, not busting through the door. That was kind of a little bit dramatic, but they show up from the back room door, and they see the Karen. They take her away, plus the son. However, I don't know how, but for some reason it was very hard to get the son out of the Chuck E. Cheese place, because then the son for some reason looked like he was possessed by a possessed cat and started just like going crazy and like spurring his arms like he was a possessed cat, just like once again. And so of course it was going to be very difficult to take the son out of the Chuck E. Cheese place and slam the door shut, just like boarded up like they're going to zombie apocalypse, and to never let them in again. But thankfully the security guards for very bulk, so they didn't have no problems. I mean, yes, it was very difficult because you're like holding a kid that's very insanely demonic, and he wants to be let out and get some more Chuck E. Cheese tokens because he was very obsessed with Chuck E. Cheese prizes. But yeah, that was a time where I met a crazy Karen experience that I never want to experience again. I mean, but at least it's funny content I can show on the channel. But yeah, that's a story for you guys. If you guys like this video, then I would appreciate if you guys can press the like button. If you don't press the like button, then a little kid, a spoiled little kid, is gonna come and steal your Chuck E. Cheese tokens, and you definitely don't want that. So press the like button. But other than that, hope you guys enjoy this video once again, because I'm signing out now. That's for me now. Bye bye.